For the left to start advancing and to start moving forward, it needs to start talking the language of freedom. Freedom in the history of the American left in particular has been a very powerful, very volatile, very explosive language. And whoever can monopolize or corner that language and use it has oftentimes been in the preeminent position. And that's a language that I think is powerful, but that too many people on the left shy away from, and that we need to embrace. Donald Trump is in many ways a very standard figure on the right. But to understand that, you have to understand what conservatism is. It's an inherently reactionary movement in defense of a hierarchy that's under assault. I think of it as a kind of elitist movement of the masses. So all of the things that we think are innovations with Trump, his populist language, his hostility to his institutions and so forth, that's intrinsic to the right going back to the very beginning. So in the United States, one of the first ones was the defense of the slavocracy. Then you have the defense of the sort of corporate oligarchy from the Gilded Age. Then you have the defense of white supremacy in the 1960s and the defense of traditional patriarchy. They oftentimes end up borrowing these reactionary movements from the very left movement that they are opposing. They understand that the problem with those elites are they're too traditional, they're too sclerotic, they're too uninspired. We need something that is as inspiring as what the left has to offer. Well, we can build a new future, the left says. So the right says, well, if you can build a future, why can't you build a past? Today, people say, oh, we have a new right with Trump, and in Europe, it's populist, this is post-ideological. This is the way the right has always been. There's nothing new about that. It's been part of the right going back as far as the reaction in defense against the French Revolution. There is a positive vision that they have at the heart of it, which is that the best society is the one where the most excellent men rule and govern, and rule in a very old-fashioned way, not through Gramscian, hegemony and so forth, but real rule and command, giving orders in the workplace, in the family, on the plantation. I call that families, factories, and fields. Conservatism is modern. It is not an ancient philosophy. Plato believed that the best person should rule. What's new in the modern era is that they have this vision of the best person and of excellence ruling in a democratic age. And that poses a tremendous challenge for conservatism, which is how do you come up with a justification for the best men ruling in an era when the default assumption is we're all equal. And so the way they've done that is to come up with a very dynamic, agonistic conception of politics and of power, whether it's on the battlefield or in the marketplace. And the best men who are able to dominate in those spheres will be the ones who rule.